I've made it the whole BT4 format without uploading or really trying out a red deck profile, and I don't know how that happened, but I think we need to fix that today. I recently picked up Ragnaloardmon, and I made a spicy deck list that I like. This is almost the exact same deck list I used in the Digimon Conquest match against Steven over on Twitch, which you should definitely check out. A couple variations since then, nothing really serious or major, but right now this is how I like the Ragnalord deck profile, and I'll explain why the choices are the way they are. There are some weird ratios and some things that might look a little bit awkward, but the deck is actually a lot more fluid than it might appear to be, and do definitely recommend giving it a try. As typical, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn that notification bell into Smash Potatoes. That way you know when all these amazing Digimon videos go live. In addition to that, we are trying to get to 10,000 subs, so if we could get there, that would be awesome. So go ahead and sub. Anyway, let's get to the deck profile now, and hope you guys enjoy. We are going to go ahead and start with the babies, and the choices of babies are already a little bit weird in comparison to maybe other Red Ragnaloard decks you've seen. We're doing the 4 Digimon and the 1 Koromon, because that's what I like about this deck. The deck doesn't always have to punch with Ragnaloardmon. If that was really the end goal, if that was the only thing I wanted to do, I'd probably consider playing the eggs that give level 7 benefits. But considering we're playing a deck with a bunch of other good attackers, you know, Digimon is just as good, if not better, because then it doesn't force us to evolve in the Ragnaloardmon for an extra 1,000 boost. And Koromon is kind of the same way. But Digimon is live more often, especially later in the game, which is why we are playing 4 Digimon. Honestly, I do like this egg lineup a lot, and I do recommend you guys give this egg lineup a try as well. For our rookies, we're starting with 4 Agumon, because Agumon gives you plus 1,000. It's really good. We're playing 3 of the Biomon. When on deletion on your turn, it gives you 1 memory. That helps you either choke your opponent really effectively or enable you to make a little bit of a bigger push. Either is fine. We're playing 3 Maldramon and we're playing 2 Biomon because they're 2-drop 3000s. And it's important to have your 2-drop 3000s because you never know when you need to play one and evolve it for 1 or 2 to choke your opponent or do something like that. We're playing only 12 rookies, and based on other deck choices, you'll see why that's actually okay. 12 is a little bit low, and sure, you don't always open a rookie, but you'll see that it's actually not that big of a deal. For our champions, we're playing 4 blocker right now, just because it's a blocker. Unfortunately, Red doesn't have a 1-cost evolved blocker yet, otherwise we'd be playing that, so we gotta play the 4 Cordramon. We're playing 4 Dark Tyrannomon, because it costs 1 to evolve. And we're playing 3 Greymon that give you inheritable security plus 1. Playing a Greymon for 5 doesn't really feel that bad, to be honest, but you'd rather not do it. It is there to be that extra security, that extra 1-punch factor that Red Ragnalord is all about, well, as well as Agent Greymon and other decks like that. But 11 champions, right now this lineup is fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. For our level 5s, we're right now playing 3 Voltramon. New toy in BT4, it's security plus 1 inheritable, just at all times. It doesn't have to be level 7, it can just go a level 6 on top of it and swing for an extra security. Costs 3 to evolve, not really a big deal, it's kind of okay. We're playing Aduramon as kind of the 4th copy of this. It only gives you security plus 1 if you're level 7, but the reason I like it is because it costs 6 to play, which does actually come up a little bit, so we are doing the 1 of, because I'd rather play that for 6 than play one of these for 7, if we need to. And that's really all I gotta say about that. We're playing 2 Groundramons, because I love hard playing these guys. Sometimes, I don't love it, you know, I don't go out of my way to do it, but sometimes if you open Poopy, you might have a Groundramon if you don't have any other rookies, and just dropping it for 5 is never really a bad feeling. So we're playing 2 of it for that reason, and we're playing 2 Lava Garidamon because they also cost 2 to evolve, but at least they swing a little bit bigger. You know, 8,000. It's one of the attackers you don't mind attacking with down the road. With other cards we'll talk about in a bit, attacking with this sometimes is perfectly fine. But we're playing 8 ultimates in the deck, and again, I've thought about playing a 9th, but I don't really know right now in this version of the deck what I'd cut for it. So let me know in the comments, but I like this lineup a lot. I don't really have any issues with it, to be honest. Our mega lineup is real simple. We're playing the Ragnaloardmon piece that gives you piercing, and we're playing the Ragnalord piece that gives you blocker. This one is a lot better than the piercing one in most matchups. Sometimes piercing is really, really good, but having blocker usually is better, because it forces your opponent into awkward situations where they can't just attack you for the sake of attacking you. And sometimes, if they can't attack you, if they want to make a power play, because your Ragnalord has blocker, and it's 14,000. So I think this one better in this format. It's a really big boy. Sure, it's not red, and that actually matters for cards we'll talk about a little bit later. This one is better because it's red, but like besides that, you know, I'd rather have the blocker usually. That being said though, we're not playing any other megas, it is just literally the 4 of these. Level 7s, we're playing 4 Ragnaloardmons. For those of you that are uninformed, it costs 3 to evolve, which is really good for level 7, but you can also get that 3 memory back if you place one of these pieces underneath the Ragnaloardmon after you evolve. What this effectively lets you do is it lets you get a full stack. You get the piercing and the blocker and the Ragnalord, which already has security +1 reboot, which is stupid. It's also 14,000. Sure, it can lose to a Chaosmon still, unfortunately. The black variant of the deck is better than not losing to a Chaosmon. But that being said, you know, it's still fine. And still hitting for security +1 and being able to reboot when you have blocker is always a really fun play. And the point of the deck is just to stack up your security inheritables and punch the opponent in the face. And that's really what you're doing with Red Ragnalord. That's this deck. It's as aggressive as it can be, kind of like Ancient Greymon. It's just as aggressive with one attack as it can be. Now we are playing a 5th level 7. We're playing one copy of Omnimon Alteress, because it catches people off guard in this format. People will try to go wide. People just will do that. You play more blockers, so they're trying to build a bigger board so that they can actually go around your blockers, and Omnimon punishes that. It's just that easy. Also punishes decks like Rookie Rush, Yellow to an extent, just random situations like that. Whenever I resolve this, and people don't expect me playing it, it kind of just wins the game. Just by itself, that card just wins the game. And I like cards that win the game. The de-digivolving, deleting thing is really cool, and the making it unblockable thing is just a secondary bonus, because you can return your level 6s to your hand and do that, which will let you get back your Ragnalord pieces for Ragnalord push if you need it. So that's where we're at with the level 7s. Honestly, it's fine. I'm not sure if this is win more or not, but I really like it in this format because the surprise factor when you do drop it at the right time, it does win you games, and sometimes you just gotta win games. So that's it for the actual Digimon. That's 44 cards. Let's go to the rest of the cards. We're playing 2 Taikamiya because it gives you red Digimon security +1. Now, this is where the deck kind of comes together. I'll show you the next card and then I'll start talking a little bit more. We're playing 2 Delicate Plan in this deck. So, this makes it so that your Durandamons are your secondary backup attacker. This guy. This guy is a red level 6 Digimon that might have 4 sources, which lets this have security +1 thanks to this. And then Delicate Plan, for those that are unaware, one of your Digimon doesn't trigger options when it checks the security. Sure, you can do it on Ragnaloardmon too, and that's not really a big deal. It's actually kind of preferred. But Durandamon makes an excellent backup attacker because of these cards. And you have your inheritable stacks that can build you up to extra security damage with Volctramon and the Greymon. So you could have a Durandamon swing for a lot of damage, for a lot of attack power, and relatively no punish maybe because of Delicate Plan. If you run into a Chaosmon or something, well sure, it's sad, it's depressing, and life sucks, but sometimes you don't, and sometimes this just cleans damages 2 at a time, 3 at a time, you know, whatever. So Durandamon, I really like Durandamon in this version. If this was the black version of Ragnaloardmon, the black blocker one would definitely be a lot better than this piece, but this piece definitely attributes to a lot of success because of this and because of this. So yeah, Durandamon, really good card to go with these cards. These cards should stomp your control matchups, which, funny enough, I actually lost a control matchup in testing and Conquest, which is hilarious. But like, it's good to make sure you can have a clean sweep for game, and this is good just to have 3 memory and the extra security attack sometimes. 2 and 2 of each is really good, and I wouldn't play any more or any less. Because Delicate Plan doesn't do stuff against every deck either, but having it as 2 of, you know, if you find it in security, it adds to your hand, you'll see it often enough, and usually you only need to resolve 1. I've dabbled with playing a little more copies of this, but I think 2 is correct right now in this format. And we're just playing 2 Gaia Force to round out the deck. And Gaia Force is just good removal, and it flips in security. It's a very powerful swing. So that's really it for the deck profile. Let's talk about the matchups real quick and call it a day. And that's Red Ragnalord, guys. That's really just, the deck's crazy. It can literally one-punch your way through a lot of securities, which are insane. In terms of matchups, this deck should theoretically be decent against things like red-yellow control, but that's the only deck I've really lost to. Because I lost to that randomly once against Steven, but everything else I've fought, it's been perfect. It's been great. And I have got some yellow war gray in the mix too. I don't like uploading deck profiles on this channel unless they can beat yellow war gray in a match or two. And as long as they can do that, without taking too many losses, this deck hasn't, it's a winner. So that's a deck profile. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you like this version of Red Ragnaloard? Would you rather see Black Ragnaloardmon? Would you really rather see Ancient Greymon? Just let me know what you guys think in the comments. I love reading that stuff. And with that, we're gonna go. So see you later, guys. Take care.